Hold up, do we have people rebelling that they wanted the devil in a red dress? Is that what I'm seeing in chat? Dude, that's too funny. I never thought that that song would be that important to, to everyone. That's too funny. Dang, yo, Wave Slave, bro. What's up, man? It is funny, at the beginning, it's all the mods and channel members. So the channel members are green, mods are blue, and a lot of mods are also channel members. So, Wave Slave, brother, man, I haven't seen you in a minute. Great to see you, man. Hope you're good. Hope the family and everyone is good. Um, well, I guess am I gonna have to rock the? Am I gonna have to rock that for a minute? Dang, Marconi says that he has a full build up for a waffle. Dang, bro, that is nasty. Okay, hold up. I may have to buy into the waffle. Dude, hold on. I'm sending the picture to myself. And then we'll do the whole beginning and the stuff that we do. Um Oh man, hold on. I don't think I can. Maybe I can zoom in that way. It doesn't show how much charge your phone has, the phone call you're on, or video you're watching, or whatever. Let me see. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I could just crop it, but then I'd have to resend it to myself. Just give me a sec. I can zoom. Okay, so that's a Shogun lower with a Marconi V2, by the way, slide with a Holosun comp. You know what? Let me do this. I'm gonna run this for a few minutes just so we can make sure we're super safe, and then you guys can make your way to Marconi. If he were to have a place that he could visit on the internet, y'all would all know where to go. It would almost be like an armory of Marconi, but just hang tight. And I don't believe you can use code dark on a waffle. I'm just saying. All right, just hang tight for a second, and then I'll pull it up because I just realized if I do that in the first few minutes, I'm a get Kizand. So just hang tight for a sec. So let's go ahead and do the intro, guys. I appreciate all y'all tuning in. Man, Marconi, that's nasty. So everyone stick around. We're only going to get more folks in here. So empty message. What? Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, so I can't pull up the actual site, but I can pull up the picture. So I got you. We'll do the thing. So hang tight, stick around, and hey, with the D's nuts, you already know what's up. No waffle till next week. Plumber got me for 11,500. What? Zanty, what are you plumbing over there, bro? That's plumb crazy. Doo-doo. All right, hang tight, and we'll talk about what Marconi got going on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at it and probably get a slot myself because that thing is crazy beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. For those of you that are just joining, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here at DLD After Dark. For everyone out there that is upset that they didn't get the Devil in a Red Dress song, here you go. We'll leave that. You know what? I wonder, would it be too distracting to play in the background? Probably. I think that song is probably a little too. Here, we'll rock this. All right. And we'll go ahead and do our intro. So for everyone joining, thank you. It's DLD After Dark. We do a live show every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at about 10:30 Eastern. And every Tuesday and Thursday is on YouTube, and every Saturday is on Grumble with an R. So make sure you check that out. We got a really dope show coming up this Saturday. And then the following show, every show that we do is going to be moving forward. We got a new sponsor, which is awesome, super exciting. Ammo Squared, which is a company I've been using for years. They're awesome, and we'll share all the awesome benefits that come with that. So hang around, hang tight. And it's funny because if you look in the background, there's like little ammo squared stickers all over here, and I did this background like forever ago. So let's see, where's some more? I don't know. They're everywhere. They did the Gadsden logo with well, anyway. Yeah, we'll talk more about that. But I also have some dope stuff to show off. If here, I was waiting for a couple models to finish. Check these out, bro. Right, and y'all already know they are boop 3DZ. Dude, these are so simple and so cool and super hardcore as far as 3D printed items. And I had a conversation with Hoffman Tactical today for like an hour. And man, just the amount of knowledge and information that dude retains about filaments and layer adhesion and tensile strength, and it is insane. And we actually came to the conclusion that the best filament for most things, it depends, right? Application is, over everything. But PLA Plus is like quite possibly the best filament in existence. For me personally, I use Duramic PLA Plus and I'm getting excellent results. Look at that little C clamp on there. And I even did, I'll bring it up. I even did some fun ones too. So just hang tight. I'll show some stuff off. I also got some other pokey implements, bro. Look at that. This is the John Wick thick pick. The John Wick thick pick printed in PETG. This thing is stupid strong. It is insane. This one I catted myself. I'm going to change it a little bit, but man, the tip is designed to snap, but it is still just crazy sharp. I mean, it is needle sharp. And I got some other things put together like this. This is just a crazy thick boy flat grind box opener. And I had shown this off, this little ridiculous mistake. Like it literally printed off the bed. It was a terrible job. But I started printing some of this other stuff. First off, the John Wick thick pick is nuts. I mean, this thing, like, dude, in the right hands, if you understand anatomy, you're doing some work with that. Let me show you these other things. Hang on one sec. Here's the Bluey. That one has the it was kind of a, it was like a trial pocket clip. It was just to see if the idea would work. Obviously it's very stupid and rudimentary. I could snap that one off, but hang tight one sec. Here's another claw in PETG. Dude, I'm telling you, I could literally like dig into a 2x4 with this thing. It's crazy solid. Okay, now check this out. So this is from your boy. So I literally catted this myself. Look how freaking solid. I mean, that thing is like 0.7 inches thick and it's got a retention ring on it. Dude, you could dig. I want to push it to its limits. This one is 100% infill, and I had another one that I printed that was 15% infill, and I just kind of want to see how well they do. Both of these are 100, but different orientations. This, I snapped the pocket clip off of this one. I just wanted to see if like the concept was there. But bro, look how ungodly sharp that thing is. It's reinforced just by the geometry of it. It's hard to explain, but it's if someone needed to go somewhere with no metal, no metallic, it's the stealth It's the stealth joint, and it is the single-use disposable stealth joint. But for 3D printed stuff, I mean, dude, it's crazy hard, dude. That PETG is nuts, man. The only thing with PETG is that it's harder, but being harder makes it more brittle, and it'll become compromised in the areas where it's most weak, which is layer adhesion. So it'll literally break and shatter. But just kind of testing out some different stuff, and I'm just going to go ham on stuff and see how much it takes to break. But if you think of, like, I know I mentioned this before, but if you think of like the claws of an animal, like of a tiger or a bear or something like that, like those aren't like 1050 high carbon steel or 174 stainless steel. Those are hard but brittle things that break and snap off. But while they're working, they put the work in. So anyway, these are all things that are disposable anyway. But similar to this bad boy. So if you guys don't know, if you haven't seen them, whoops, I just hit my light. This thing has a wingspan, you know what I mean? Like check that out. Thing has a wingspan like no other. This is a 100% Grivery butterfly knife, and if you look at the thickness there, it is super duper thick. But the same kind of thing. These there's videos of these things going ham on like blocks of wood and things like that. But I would consider them single use if they were to be used for anything significant. Anyway, it's kind of hard to do back there. Let's see. There you go. Bam. That's the Tonto. I got another one. Let me show you this other one. This thing is pretty nasty. Oh, here it is. Look at the blade on this joint. The fact that Cold Steel was forward thinking enough to make a serrated, with a reinforced tip, dude, that thing is hardcore. Yeah, that's nasty. But remember, it's double-edged, so you got to be careful when you're rocking it. And gravity can be your friend in this situation, and gravity can also be your enemy. So yeah, keep that in mind. Anyway, all right, let's keep it moving. Okay, my bad. So the intro, I just had to wait a little bit to kill some time anyway. Dangle Matt was first in chat, brother. Congratulations. So for anyone that's here that doesn't know, I'm Dark with DLD After Dark. We do a live show every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Tuesdays and Thursdays are over here on YouTube, and Saturdays are on Grumble. So check that out. Grumble with an R, the green place. And man, the show is blowing up. We're getting 50 to 100,000 views or more. Some have like 130, 120, 130,000 views on each channel. So my own channel, DLD After Dark on Rumble, and then also Black Diamond Guns and Gear. They're both blowing up because we're working directly with Rumble. So they're literally placing it on the For You page, and it's getting a lot of traction. So we're working with Ammo Squared now. We had also done work in the past with other companies like XS Sites, Crate Tactical, and obviously our own companies, advertising for fattac.com, who has like the best super dope holsters, super comfortable. I'm currently wearing one right now with that Glock 19X, that Glizzy. And also DLD Hardware Definition Knives. That's how you can support the channel. And we'll go ahead and jump into it. If you're watching this, if you are watching this for the first time and you are new, shout out in chat. Most of the value that you're going to get is going to be from the homies in chat over here. Or if you're watching on mobile, they're going to be these fine people right below me. And yeah, just come through, say what's up, holla at your boy. And we're going to be talking about Super Safe, the FRTs and WOTs, all that stuff tonight. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I got some really great news about the supers and the safers. So we're going to be talking about that. And if you're watching this the next day or the next day or the next day, make sure you drop a comment saying what's up. The typical comment is the replay mafia, recapitulation syndication, refried beans, reheating the leftovers. Dark coffee is another popular one because people watch this in the morning, so drop a comment. If you are genuinely watching this for the first time now, which I don't believe you, but if you are genuinely watching this for the first time, then make sure if you feel like you get enough value from the show and the conversation, it would be great for you to subscribe. If not, I care about very little. So, it'd be cool though. We're on our way to 5,300 subscribers, so that'd be dope. It's a small channel, but we got just an incredible community. You know what I'm saying? Like a small group of super committed people, and I love y'all and I appreciate y'all for it. Word. So let's get into it. So Dangle Matt was first in chat, brother. Congratulations. Let's do a crisp high five for you, sir. Thank you, sir. And let's go through and say what's up to the channel members. Do me a favor, channel members, sound off in chat, and we'll go through and say what's up. Let's see. We got Kurt 24, the producer of the show, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member. We got Senor Bob. Great to see you, brother. Appreciate you. And let me know which one. I know, obviously, this style of shank, even though the pocket clip is missing, is super rudimentary. It actually feels like crazy comfortable in the hand, and it's just got that perfect ledge to wrap your thumb around. Let me know which one you like, if you like that or the claw. The claw is nasty. I mean, it's got like the grip of a butcher knife, and the claw of a taiga. Or if your favorite is the John Wick thick pick. I mean, this thing is crazy, and it's got some heft to it too. That PETG is super hard. I got some MPLA plus too. But the real star of the show, honestly, bro, the real star of the show are these. These are super cool. So anyway, we'll jump back into it. Senor Bub, appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Let's see. We got Lightning McQueen in the building, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member. We got Stifler Manufacturing, my guy. Great to see you. Blue Curtain Burner. Great to see you as well. Both you guys, channel members. Appreciate you. Let's see who else we got. Obviously, we got Marconi. We were talking about Marconi, and he's got a waffle going on that is crazy, which after the intro, I will show the peeps. Let's see. Stifla, Mike McClune, the Goon, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member and a moderator. Great to see you, brother. Let's see. Kurt 24. We got Zanti Misfit in the building, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member. Let's see. Lightning McQueen. Kurt 24, the producer of the show. Stifler. Kurt 24, Lightning McQueen. Jova Q, brother. Great to see you. Also a moderator. So put some spec on his name. Let's see, Zanti Misfit, Stifler, Kurt 24, Senor Bob. We got Wave Slave, dude, viewer forever, but he's been MIA for a minute, so it's great to have you back, brother. Zanti, Senor Bob, Jova Q, Zanti, Lightning McQueen. Let me just see. Yes, sir. Free CRS, dude. I missed a bunch of calls from him, man. I feel terrible, man. I just every single time he calls, I miss it. Dude, I literally didn't have my phone for like an hour and a half today. Like, didn't even look at it. Didn't have my watch on my phone or nothing. I was like, what am I forgetting? Didn't I have something? I'm like, oh, snap. Drewski, brother, great to see you, man. Lifetime channel member and moderator. Appreciate you, brother. Drewski is the man. See Kurt 24, Zanti Misfit, Drewski. I'm just catching up here. Drewski, Senor Boob, Zanti Misfit, Drewski. Yeah, I was on Hank Strange's show on Monday. Indeed, it was a blast. Gort, great to see you, brother. Also a channel member. All you guys, long-time channel members. Live Life, Alabama in the house. Appreciate you, brother. So glad you got your piece back, man. So there's a lot of significance with the gun that he had the issue with. And look, we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect, right? I mean, I've heard crazier stories. So we all are subject to error and we all make mistakes. So the fact that he made a mistake sucked, but the fact that he got his gun back was awesome. And that gun is what he's planning on giving to his daughter. That's why it's all like rainbow slick and crazy looking. If you guys had seen the build, he's shown it off before on the channel. Let's see, live life, Gort, Zanti Misfit, Gort. Let's see, I'm just going through Lightning McQueen, Gort, Drewski, Lifetime, Chinamemba. Too many choices, brother. Great to have you back, man. I feel like I've been missing you for a bit, doggy. Yo, Red Dawn Readiness, brother. Great to see you, man. Appreciate you coming through, doggy. Let's see, Kurt 24, the producer of the show, Gort, Red Dawn Readiness. Let's see, Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, brother. Great to see you also with Memba. Appreciate you, brother. And I know, look, no other content creator is going to go through and greet every single channel member. Not going to happen. They don't care. I do. And I appreciate you guys. Nearly 90% of the support that comes through YouTube is from channel membership. It's in my analytics, and I appreciate y'all. Also, like 70+% of the engagement of the channel comes from channel members as well. So appreciate y'all, man, for sure. Let's see, Fluffy Bunny, Frederick Donegan, Senor Bub, Fluffy Bunny Arsenal. I'm just going through catching up, y'all. Lightning McQueen, 7 inches. That's what she said. Fluffy Bunny, Zanti Gort. Let's see, Zanti Misfit, Senor Bub, Fluffy Bunny, Lightning McQueen. Let's see. And if I missed you, if you're a channel member and I missed you, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Let's see, Gord, Zanti Misfit, Marconi, Drewski, Dark Shopping Network. These actually aren't for sale, funny enough. So it's not the DLD QVC. They're not for sale. I mean, if enough of y'all were like, bro, we want one, we want. All right, cool. Then we can talk about putting them up for sale. But currently, they're just stuff until I can go out and literally stab them into stuff to the point that they shatter and break and snap off, so I can personally test them in like sets of 10, and I can say, okay, here are the results. These are good up to like X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Like really push them to the limit myself. I wouldn't feel comfortable like selling them, or even like, how do you put a price on them, right? If they're trash, if they're going to melt in your car and break when you use them, like, yeah, I couldn't do that. But once they're, I guess, tested, you know what I'm saying? Dude, I keep going back to it. This thing just looks so fierce, bro. Like, I don't know. That John Wick thick pick, and the way that it's spelled is John Wick, and then it's THICCPICC. It's that thick pick with 2 C's. I guess, aren't I supposed to spell it with 3 C's nowadays? I don't remember. I feel like ash in it, like Okay, let's see. Fluffy Bunny, Blue Curtain Burner, Senor Bubs, Anti Misfit. Let's see. Hey, K Lover, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you. Also, a channel member. Lane McQueen, Fluffy Bunny Arsenal. Yo, 32 months. Dark has been my pimp for 32 months now. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, I swear I just heard my dog walking right below me. I'm tripping. Let's see. Barton Fink, brother. Great to see you, man. Where you been at, doggy? I haven't seen you in a minute either. Barton Fink, Chenamemba, Senor Bub, card 24. Okay. Dang, I'm 25 minutes late. No, you're not. I mean, we're literally just getting started. Interrupting Rich. Say my name. Say my name. We'll get into it. So we'll do this. Let's show what your boy was talking about a second ago. And look, I always say I start at the beginning, and I mean not at the beginning of the show, but anytime I'm talking about the homies, I say it like this. I say, we have to stop just wildly throwing money at PSA and Brownells and like all these massive corporations that don't do much. I can't say they don't do anything because some of them do throw money at organizations that do fight for our, on our behalf, right? For our natural rights. But it's so much better to keep our money in our circle of people that we know directly. Like, if there's something specific that you're looking for, I promise you someone in our circle can solve your problem and get you a great product for a great deal. So that's why I always say support our homies, like support Fat Tech, right? Fat Tech has awesome stuff on their website, not just their holsters, but their gear, their, actual gear, like their clothes and stuff, their equipment, their health, their medical stuff. They got awesome stuff. Companies like Goombeam, right? Goombeam, bro. Literally, this is I downgraded to the small little guy. Okay, the best and the brightest. All right, literally the best and the brightest when it comes to flashlights. Gideon Optics. Now, Fat Tech does sell Goombeams and Gideon Optics on their site, but I'm just saying, Gideon Optics and Goombeam. Actually, if you use code DARK with Goombeam, you save money. You get money off and all that. And if you use code GLOWIES with Gideon, you get 10% off and free shipping and all that on stuff that's already priced like crazy cheap compared to most other optics out there. But also, like, if you need Glock stuff, like there's Marine Gun Builder for parts. There's Marconi for slides and barrels, and he's doing crazy stuff like Radian Ramjet grade stuff with his V2 that most companies aren't doing. If you need more traditional Glock slides, which a lot of them are like set up for doing ported barrels and stuff like that. Stifler Manufacturing, 17.4 all-American stainless steel, Cerakoted. Go to their stores, check them out. If you need framework done, Shogun, like basically, I'm saying all this to say this. If you need jigs for P80s and all that, I'll let your boy DLD hardware, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying all this to say this. If we kept supporting all of our people in our circle more and more and more and more, then we're going to continue to grow and be able to do more for each other with each other. You know what I mean? So also shop at not only Fat Tech, but also DLD hardware and definition knives. I'm just saying, I'll let your boy. Anyway, back to supporting the homies. Here you go. Here's your boy, Marconi, dog. Holy waffle Batman. Okay, so this is apparently a waffle going on now. This is not cheap. Yo, I have that exact F1 trigger, my guy. Hold up. Is that the same Z's? That looks like the exact F1 trigger, which I absolutely love. Dang, you can almost see the serial number on the frame there. So that is a Shogun frame with the Marconi logo, with the Shogun stippling, with, dang, he even, man, look at you got, so not only does he have the Marconi logo in there, he's got Marconi up here where he usually puts Shogun. That's fire. He's got the frame cuts, got the whatchamacallit, the undercuts. He's got the gas pedal cuts and the stippling there, all that. Got the Marconi magwell, got the crazy fire breathing Dragon V2 slide with the looks like some kind of gold or burnt bronze barrel with that camo. Dude, do you see like how many steps of how many different colors that he has to do to get that camo right? With like the FDE green, brown, black, gold, like that is crazy. My man is nuts with it. It looks like a Holosun 507 comp too. Yeah, these are not cheap, bro. I mean, so typically, we can't talk about like prices or anything, but I'll tell you this. Go check it out. If there's a place that you could go, you would want to check the internet for a place like this, and you'd be able to go down this rabbit hole. Home, shop, waffles, boom. and then there you go. So great work, Marconi. You're putting out some straight fire, man. Shogun, you are doing excellent work, dude. His F1 trigger. So Shogun came out with his own trigger. Okay, I literally took a freaking file and like cut away the pin on the Gen 5 trigger to punch that bad boy out. And because it was, so I have the OEM Gen 5 performance trigger on the crazy Radian Glock that I got, right? I put his F1 trigger on the Glock Gen 5 performance trigger. Holy moly. Like the change in the geometry, how good it feels, how crisp it feels. It's got like a little bit of like a return spring when it kicks it back. It's just super smooth, super crisp. And as a matter of fact, I got that bad boy right here. And let me just, ooh. Oh man, that reset's nuts. Yeah, so obviously your mileage will vary depending on, you know, what you put it on, but I recommend sticking with OEM everything. But bro, this is awesome. OEM frame, OEM guts, Marconi slide, 507 comp. That's a nasty setup, bro. Really dope work. I love it. So who else wants the Mossy 990 Aftershock? Oh, that's, I didn't even know that was a thing. Love that fade. You too could catch a fade. Yeah, no, it is dope. It is dope. But that's what I'm saying. Like we have so many like crazy talented people in our little community, like Stifler Manufacturing, like let me go back. Like Marconi, like I don't know if was he in here? Was he in here? Is Gideon in here? Anyway, Gideon, Goombeam, Fat Tack, like all these guys, we need to support them, man. That's all I'm saying. And if I forgot anyone talking through all these, forgive me, right? Ooh, okay. Hoffman Tactical. So I don't know like how much information I could deeply get into, but here's what I'll say. You know what? We need to run a quick little video so I can get some nicotine for a second. So let's do a quick little gooch shot. And actually, we don't need to do the whole gooch shot. Let's just do this.
Oh no, no.
Sorry, y'all. It's hard if I'm on here solo. It's hard to like take a break and hit the vape and all that, you know.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
Sorry. Dude, Red Dawn, that looks nasty, bro. Everyone's sending me pictures and stuff tonight. Hold up. Let me take that off a little tray thing. Check this out. Dang. With the FDE acro, with the FDE radiant on that joint. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. That's good work. That's good work. I couldn't run that fiber optic though. I feel like I'd cook that thing off though. You know what I'm saying? So did he? Was that a stock non-cut slide that he got cut for the acro? Is that how that is? My bad. All right, let's go back to it. Okay, so I'll say this. Yes, he does indeed. You know what, man? I haven't been like posting and showing my stuff. I need to get back to. Oh, and I'm gonna hit the range again. I got me and my guy are gonna be going out to the rifle range finally, so it won't just be pistol only. We do a lot of pistol work because, like I always say, chances are if you run into a bad situation, it's more likely that you're going to have your pistol on you, right? You're going to have to do something like that. And immediately, Red Dawn says, it's not mine. It's his boy's. And yeah, he got it acro cut, a straight slide acro cut. How much does it cost to get a slide like that cut for an acro? That'd be pretty fire. Or you know what? How much would it cost to get that thing MOS cut? Because I would love to get my 19X, which is just straight up irons, MOS cut. That would be pretty fire. Man, if I didn't sell that Ghost Gunner back in the day, maybe I could have been doing MOS cuts. Anyway, back to you, DLD. Pretty pissed at Glock. So yeah, I think we need to dig in and get a little bit more information on that. So first off, it's a really dumb situation because it's like, okay, we're going to help this state legislate against something that's already illegal. Like, what? Okay, so it's illegal for anyone that is not an SOT to make a post May of 86 machine gun conversion device, or MCG, because you know they got to turn everything into a oh, that's a very affordable price, Red Dawn. That's very affordable. I may be interested one day. But they got to turn everything into a stupid acronym. It's like, dude, absolute tards. I hate that every single time they speak about anything, they have to turn it into an acronym. Like when they started calling high capacity magazines or large capacity magazines LCMs. Are you serious? Okay, large capacity magazines, 8 syllables. All right, 8 syllables. LCMs. Is that 3 or 4 syllables? Anyway, it's just stupid and lazy. And next week you're gonna find something else that you know has the acronym of LCM. So like, why do it to yourself? Why do it to us? Stop making idiotic acronyms that are just absolutely tarded.
Uh-oh, retard alert!
Anyway, sorry. So that's super frustrating, but machine gun conversion devices are already legal if they are post 86 non, civilian register, able to be registered by civilians on a form 4, right? Now obviously we're priced out of all that. Any average human being is priced out of just buying a $40,000 drop-in auto sear, right? But I'm saying, like, why is there any, first off, full autos, machine guns, they should not be restricted in any way whatsoever at all, period. I don't think anyone should be restricted from having a machine gun. I think that's stupid. But what about the felons? Don't care. Let them have them. Because guess what? If they have machine guns, guess who else has machine guns? It's the same thing. Let felons have guns. If they're being let out, then the problem isn't that, well, they have access to guns. The problem is that you've let them out. I'm saying, like, there's so many. We're taking accountability from people and not allowing them to actually have consequences for their actions and releasing them. Dude, when I was a kid and people got hemmed up for serious charges, they were getting convicted of like 30 years at sentencing. Now I'm seeing people nowadays getting convicted of the same type of stuff, and they're sentenced like 5 to 7, 8 years. I'm like, what? Second degree murder, 8 years? That's interesting. What's changed? They just, want to keep moving them through the system probably because they're getting paid from all these, prison. Anyway, sorry. I'm just saying that, Armsman, what's up, brother? Yeah, no, I know. See, and I don't have a problem with Glocks. I have a problem with anyone that stands up for restrictions or stamps their name on restrictions. So if any gun company, regardless of who it is, if it's Glock or Smith & Wesson or Springfield or Colt or whoever, like Ruger did the same thing. Ruger was like, there is no average American that needs more than a 10-round magazine. Like, what? Who are you? Why are you in our community? Anyway, so it's dumb, to sit here and say, okay, so those federally illegal, like pound in the beehole prison, machine gun conversion devices. Oh, nice. Heck yeah. Sorry, I just got another picture. Um, Yeah, those machine gun conversion devices that are literally illegal, yeah, even like the 14-cent ones that you can print, they are illegal. So it doesn't matter if Oklahoma wants to make some additional super gay restrictions on, they're illegal. They're illegal. Like it does not matter what you do. So the fact that Glock is just trying to look good and probably appear to be appealing to the government so they can probably get some type of, and this is the stuff, man. SIG, trying to do whatever they can to be appealing to get contracts, and then they have the whole SIG 320 saga. It's like when you cut corners and raise your hand and try to look cool and say that's right, machine guns are bad and we think they're bad. And I mean, from one perspective, I guess I get it that like everyone calls them Glock switches, and Glock is like, because they're compatible with Glock style firearms, and Glock is like everyone's calling them Glock switches, but they're not Glock switches. We don't make switches, right? Like, so I get that. I understand that everyone's stamping your name on a product that's not, yours. Outside of that, which all I care about is like property law in that sense. But machine guns should not be illegal. They should not be restricted. Again, what about felons? And sure, give them to them. Release them and give them all of their property back. If they had 10 guns when they got arrested, when they get released and they get back to their home and back to their family and back to their car, they get their 10 guns back. And if they act a fool, well, what if they shoot someone? Then they get shot in the face by good people like us. That's what happens. But what if they have machine guns? Great, we have machine guns too. The problem now is there's an imbalance because now those felons and those dirtbags out there that don't care about the law, that will break the law, because we respect the law out of, let me say this differently, not because we respect and honor, like, oh, the federal government says that, we can't own machine guns, so we won't own machine guns because we like, know, and trust them. No, it is out of fear of death and the penalty of incarceration. That's it. You want to know why I don't have a bunch of illegal machine guns? And this is for the feds watching, because we got 50 people in here. So statistically, we should have about 5 federal agents watching right now. You want to know why I don't have a bunch of illegal machine guns in my home? Fear of death and incarceration, because I don't want to get CRS'd. Okay, well, why don't I have anything like on the gray area of this could be, might be? Why don't like the joke with Rich and the whole dog park thing? Why do I take that so seriously? Because guess what? One day, some stupid Fed that's just a total tard that hears Rich saying he buried something at the dog park. Rich brought it up. He's like, dude, if someone really ever wanted to just totally screw me over, they could literally just go bury stuff at the dog park, right? Like it's, I mean, funny, not funny, right? Don't do that. But I mean, it's a very serious thing. And the way that they control you, the way that they will always control you is fear of death and incarceration. We're not abiding by the BS fiat law that they write because we like, know, and trust and have faith in the government. It is only because of fear of death and incarceration. And eventually, like the story that we told about the guy who just wanted to be left alone, eventually they start caring a little bit less about the fear of death and incarceration. So just know, Daddy Gov out there, for you guys, that's running out and it's wearing thin on people. And sometimes, when a person has to wake up every day and look death in the face, they're like, you know what? I don't mind that idea so much. Go back to Jesus. Okay, cool. Let's get it rocking and rolling. I'm just saying, don't give them no ideas. I know, man. Chris Shoemake, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. All I'm saying is I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that any firearm company would want to stamp their name next to gun control. That is just like death by firing squad in the gun community. Like, are you an idiot? Oh, sorry. CIA here. I believe you follow the law. Nobody is dumb enough to get a machine gun when you can be more accurate with a semi-auto. So there are roles for machine guns, right? Like, d- do you guys? Okay, I guess I don't need to do the whole like guess which thing, but if you guys had to take a guess of, I already gave my answer away, of what is responsible for most of the battlefield kills in like the entire GWOT era, like the 2 decade war that we fought over there. It was ordnance number one. What do you think number two is? You want to guess? Light machine guns. Dude, they are so destructive, but they're effective because they keep heads down, right? And we've seen this too, like even in police body cam footage, right? You see, cops go to pull over a car, and as soon as they pull over a car and open up their car doors, you just hear bah! And just someone opens up with a Glock with a switch. They can't even react, right? They all they can do is squeeze their butt cheeks and keep their sphincter tight and just tuck into a ball and hide behind as much metal as you possibly can. There's no like returning fire in that moment. It is like breathtakingly terrifying when you are on the other end of a machine gun, even if it's all over the place, right? Now, a controlled machine gun with controlled bursts from a distance, absolutely, there is 100% very effective uses for that. And now we're not talking like what do you call it? What's the 240? Not the 240 Bravo, the Saw. Um, oh my goodness, what's the numeric? Whatever, the Saw, the 5.56 Saw. That's like as far as accuracy, it's garbage. It's literally like a 10 MOA gun. It's trash, right? That means 10 inches at 100 yards, 20 inches at 200 yards, 30 inches at 300. It's terrible, right? But then you take a gun like an AR, like a modern AR, let's say like that 14.5 inch, 1-7, cold hammer forged, chrome lined Geisley barrel right there. Okay. This little bad boy right here. And then you put a very effective optic on that thing and a very effective red dot on top. And then you put a like an FRT or something like that in there. And you send, 5 to 7 rounds per burst out at a target, 2, 3, 4, 500 yards away, bro, you are making serious impacts with a way more accurate system than with something like a Saw or a 240 Bravo or something like that. That's all I'm saying. Or yeah, like okay, so Drewski with the Lima 6, dude, that Lima 6 slaps on any AR-15, and with a super safety or an FRT, the Furts and Watts, dude, that thing is nasty. Um, so machine guns do have their place in the battlefield. In most cases, machine guns like a machine pistol, like a Glock, you can definitely control it. I used to work for an SOT. I've went shooting with a bunch of SOTs. I've gone to, and I'm not trying to flex. I'm just trying to preface this with this is how I've legally shot them in the past for the feds, right? For the CIA, TFBI people watching, working at different SOTs, going shooting with different SOTs, going shooting at different, range days, IV-88, goals, shot show, all this stuff. In doing that, I've fired a bunch of full auto Glocks. Now, when I've done that over time, the first magazine is just like, you can't control anything. And then you start to kind of learn that you can control it a little bit better. Then you start to do slower bursts, like 5 to 7 round bursts. And then you're like, okay, so I could for real like just zip up a silhouette 7 to 10 yards away. Anything outside of that, you start losing accuracy significantly. And I agree, in a lot of cases a semi-auto is a better option. But anyway, machine guns do have their place. I'm not saying super safeties, FRTs, WOTs, Delta Team Tactical, trigger, like all that stuff. Those are not machine guns as of now. As of whatever August, blah blah blah, 2025. These are currently totally lawful. They are semi-auto, and the way that they're unregulated, which is crazy because if you guys remember, you know how many videos I did on like the FRTs are machine guns. They are because that's what the ATF said. So they treated the force reset triggers as machine guns. People were literally getting raided over them. They visited hundreds and hundreds of people's homes. Like this got like crazy. And then of course they made this deal that like, oh yeah, FRTs are like totally fine, dude. It's like, so how many lives did you ruin? How many doors did you kick off the hinges? And whatever happened to Twin Bros? I'm just saying that's a little suspect. I'm just saying all of a sudden it starts to get a little weird, make a little less sense, and maybe even get some people mad.
I'm almost too mad to do the show at this point. In fact, I just need to walk out of here. I can't do it. I can't do it.
All I'm saying is that just doesn't really make sense. All right, what happened to Twin Bros? Some people actually, there's this whole like Reddit post about it. Anyway, that's a whole thing. So about super safeties, it's funny the crazy tangents we go on. Well, so in this is here's the crazy. So comfortable, welcome. I'm not sure your picture looks familiar. I don't know if you're a regular, but welcome nevertheless. Here's the crazy thing. What's up, Philly Slow? Good to see you, bro. Got my hands on a DD Mark 18 build and a Colt 633 9mm build with a super safety this week. Sold. Take my money back. ARP and Mac 5 will be getting a super safety. So here's the deal. Super safeties are tits. FRTs are tits. You got to tune them. You got to work with them. You got to get them running well. But once you do and you hit that magic button and it's working super smooth, like this one unsuppressed sucks. With a can on it, it's so you know what my solution is? Just only run it with a can on it because I don't care to tune it. I'm not going to go get an adjustable gas block or nothing like that. In that, get this, okay? I told you guys forever this like $500 to $600 what do you call it? Duty grade AR from Anderson. RIP Anderson. We loved you, bro. Kyle, miss you, love you. But this that duty grade Anderson that they were selling, dude, all of that has been run through that upper, and it is just like a beast. Josh from Fat Tech, he put an M16 lower on that duty grade Anderson upper, and he put 1,000 rounds through it in one sitting. So yeah, that's honestly the front line. You get a thumbs up, straight up. You get a thumbs up from me. Caleb, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. It's just it's interesting because everyone talks, crap about the Andersons because their lowers are cheap. But and shout out to Kyle and the guys that I knew over there because for like months they sent a care package. I had no idea it was sitting in my PO box. Excuse me. And I opened it up and it had a bunch of Anderson shirts. Excuse me, goodness gracious. It had a couple Anderson shirts, an Anderson hoodie, a bunch of Anderson patches, and the Anderson patches and all the other swag and stuff that's in there are thrown into the giveaway pile for you guys. So we'll do a giveaway here soon. Yeah, so I mean that's proven itself so far in semi-auto and in super semi-auto. But so here's the deal. I would so how could I phrase this? It would be my because I don't give advice, and if you take advice from me, you're stealing. The way I look at it is this: because super safeties are currently available, I would grab them because I mean, for a couple $100, you can turn your gun into the most fun you can have with your pants on. All right. The FRTs, if you were lucky enough to get your hands on, FRTs, WOTs, the Delta Team Tactical, triggers, whatever, those are excellent, and they run. Not all of them are treated equally. Some are better. But dude, I know guys with 7 to 10,000 rounds through their FRTs, and they're still running like a champ. I unfortunately didn't get the 3-position FRT, but I ended up definitely on the upside when somebody was like, "Yo, I got an FRT." This is right when they became totally lawful, and they were like, "Do you want to trade X, Y, and Z for it?" And it was like something totally dumb and stupid. It was like $150 worth of stuff. But being a dealer, I had a lower price on that stuff, and I was like, "Yep, done. Take it, give it to me." So I got my hands on an FRT, and that's the one that's in that other one over there. Y'all can't see it. It's in the corner of the room. Because if that knock comes, the bad knock, the criminal knock, I'm just saying. Anyway, so because they are lawful now, because they are totally legal and available now, I would honestly jump on it. And it's not like they've never said, "This is bad, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad, this is good," and then come back and said, "Never mind, it's bad now." Right? But the funny thing is that because it was mentioned earlier, hold on. Oh, where is it? Someone had mentioned something. Here it is. Comfy says they change the laws weekly. I argue with them all the time. Okay. Crazy thing is, it's not even law, right? It's their interpretation, and then they apply federal law to their opinion. What? In what other place can they do this? This is all possible by the boy in the Oval Office. The boy, I can't say the boy, homie in the Oval Office, that because of bump stocks. There you go. Anyway, so here's my take on it. So my take on it is get them all you can, okay? But however, there's a lot of very reliable, reputable resources for super safeties. You can get, FRTs and WOTs, Delta Team Tactical Triggers and stuff on Gunbroker and all that. But super safeties have come a long way. As far as like what was originally a file that was meant to be 3D printed and some folks got it made out of metal, they've stepped up majorly. However, a new super safety is going to be dropping and coming on the market within a matter of months, couple months. And they're not just going to be plasma cut metal. They're not going to be D2 steel, which isn't bad. Okay. D2 is solid, right? A bunch of our knives, definitionknives.com, is is blade steel that's made from D2 tool steel or 8CR13 MOV. Like, it's good steel, right? But I'll just say this, because I don't know how much I should have asked what specifically I can say. But Hoffman Tactical himself had found a better way and a better material to manufacture them in that is harder, better, faster, stronger, harder, better, faster, stronger. It's facts. All gun laws are unconstitutional, straight up. I've heard a lot. So the thing is like, a lot of the super safeties on the market are very good, and some have issues with cams, some have issues with levers, some I've heard of levers snapping. Typically, that's going to be like a hardening issue, right? Versus or two of the new new and improved Hoffman Tactical super safeties that are going to come to market within a couple months. He's talked about it, which is why I just don't know how much he's talked about and all that he's given away. But let's just say that a type of steel that everyone is familiar with, if it is heated to a bajillion degrees and extruded from a powder filament, that it is way stronger, and can take way more abuse and way more temperature. Crazy temperature. Zero of the levers have broken under bajillions of rounds of use. However, two levers did break when he wasn't thinking, and he was taking one of the Lima 6 um, uppers off of his AR lower, and the bolt was back, and he removed the back pin, and the bolt came through, and it just with so much force that it literally snapped right over the lever. He's like, yeah, I did that twice, but that was me being dumb. Aside from those specific things, it would have broken anything in its way, including the lever. That could have been anything, and it would have broken it. Aside from that, literally nothing has been able to break or wear these things. The other thing, and Drew and I, we were talking about like what lowers prefer super safeties and stuff like that. So there's actually a conversation that's been going around the internet about like Spike's tactical lowers, and I forgot which ones, but there were a couple lowers that preferred the super safeties. This new one with a new and improved lever that Hoffman Tactical is making and going to come out with, it has a piece that's typically due to centering. And if you're not using a centering piece, then if you were to, lay prone and go sideways or something like that, then some BCGs, depending on the profile, if the lever starts to like tip and go like sideways like that, then some BCGs, depending on the profile and shape, could actually mar, snap, or break the levers. So for you guys that don't know, it's a cam safety that goes in, and then a lever that slides in that rocks the trigger forward and backward when the bolt reciprocates. So anyway, I talked to him, and I was like, dude, I would love to buy a few from you, and then I'll literally make content on them, and I'll push it out there. And he was like, you know what, I got you, let's set it up. So he's only got a few samples because they're literally going through doing testing and torture testing and all that. So the next thing that I'm going to do is take that MP Fizzle lower and put that put that super safe in the MP5 as well. Because honestly, like, look, nobody wants to drop $400 freaking dollars on an MP5 lower, and then $200 freaking dollars on some type of force reset trigger, and then like, dude, like spending like $600-700 to make an MP5 super safe, like that sucks, man. So if I can make a couple ARs and my MP5's super safe, I'm good with that. Spikes is a great company, 100%. Black Diamond Josh, what's up, brother? You missed all your shout outs earlier. DLD, is the AR style FRT for the MP5 a super safe or a cassette style? Yes. From what I understand, you can use both. So it seems like most people are using super safety, so I could be wrong, but what most people are doing is they're getting an AR FCU MP5 lower, like the Lee Sporting, right? So they're getting like a Lee Sporting lower. There's a couple other companies out there too. A bunch of dudes are literally just 3D printing them, and that's what I did. You just need to, so first off, you change the lower, and then you put either a super safety or an FRT, which I believe, because I don't see anyone running FRTs in their AR MP5 lowers, maybe you have to use a super safety. I'm not sure. I'm going to mess around with it, and I'll find out soon. Within a month or so, I'll know everything there is to know about. A month or two, I'll know everything there is to know about this stuff. But you swap out your lower to an MP5 AR FCU compatible lower. You put, let's say, a super safety in there, and then the rest of the guts. You actually, if you use the printed lower, you actually have to buy another German HK steel only ejector and you have to print a jig and cut the ejector, and then you have to hold the ejector in there with like an M3 screw or something. There's another way to do it where you actually pin it in. There's a couple different types of lowers out there, but I'm going to try both. But once you do that and you get your AR MP5 lower with the super safety in there, then all you need to do is drop in a trip, because there's no sear trip on the MP5 bolt when it runs back to hit the sear and engage the forced reset or assisted reset of the trigger. So you drop in, and I printed a bunch of them. I don't have them here. I think they're on the other side, because I actually started printing a bunch of them because I was going to sell them. So what I was going to do is, to a service to our people that want to, have a super safe MP5, or even honestly, just a lower that takes, AR-15 fire control unit and grip. Dude, you may just want to put a Geisley trigger in your MP5. What I was going to do is actually take don't fall. I was actually going to take these lowers, and look, the amount of post-processing this takes is a lot. Look how freaking clean that is, doggy. That is insane. Okay. And I'm seeing dudes that are like, yeah, I got 2,000 or 3,000 rounds through my 3D printed AR MP5 lower. So instead of having to spend $400 on the aluminum, counterpart, what I was going to do is take a lower, and just because of the amount of time on the printer, filament, blah blah blah, the amount of post-processing time of cleaning all that crap off of it and cleaning it up and filing it and blah blah blah, and fitting and stuff, I was probably going to sell the printed MP5 lower and a grip and 2 trip slips of each kind. Depending on what you're using, you may need 1 or 2. So probably the MP5 lower, a grip, and 4 trip slips for like $50, because it gives people that don't print themselves the ability to purchase a lower for, because that's not restricted, or that is not the firearm component of the gun. The upper is the firearm component. So GATF, CIA, TFBI boys out there, this is totally lawful. Okay. So we'll talk about this too. This is kind of an important thing to keep in mind if you are going to do that. Let's see. Same for SIG and PX, and reading the carrier designs. Correct. Yeah, a lot of them. So the new MCX BCG does have a sear trip on it. So the new one does. But I think those are actually only available, and based on the video I just watched that Print Shoot Repeat dropped, those I was told about that today, but I didn't actually see it. All I need is for Fight Light to send me the full auto dual feed BCG and get a FRT kit for my Zenith ZR5, and I'm set in a perfect world. Yeah, you and me both, brother. Let's see. Poor Man's Gold PMG, welcome. T and Tactical, brother, good to see you. Literally finishing my super safe AP5P filming this weekend. Got it running great after a few range trips. Heck yeah, man. That's awesome, dude. Very, very dope. Matt Smith, what's up, brother? Good to see you. You must use a super safety because of the BCG. Okay, interesting. So I was thinking that the trip was in the same area. So if you had a trip slip in there hitting the lever on the FRT or the lever on the super safety, that either one would work, but you could be right. You may only be able to use the super safety. Glock going, yeah, we talked about that in the beginning. So let me get back to it real quick. Thank you. So the way I'm looking at it is like this, right? It'll help give me another item to sell on DLD hardware, and it'll help, raise a little bit of cash, but still give a way better value to the people out there that want to do this but aren't 3D printers, right? And as long as you don't cook thousands of rounds through it in one sitting, the lower is a very low temperature item. Like the gun doesn't cook in the lower, right? If you think about it, factory MP5, what's the lower made out of? Oh, wait. Factory MP5, the non-serialized, y'all, for Fed Boys, is made of polymer. The lower in a Scorpion, what's it made out of? Polymer. The lower in a B&T, whatever, APC-9 or Strybog, or all these guns are made with polymer lowers. Most of the obviously, containing the explosion is an important part. But most of that, temperature, heat, and yeah, it's a good point. PP, it's made of PP. Actually, yes. Where that's what we're talking about. Yeah, the scar lower. Very good point. Yeah. I would say it was easy to tune in the 8-inch 300 blackout to FRT perfectly. Yeah, it just depends. It depends on the gas, the pressure, the buffer, the beat, just all that, and the ammo. Right? It may run totally fine with supers with a can, or with supers without a can, or with subs with a can, or it depends. Right? So you got to run a bunch of stuff through it to make sure that it works. Or if maybe it runs beautifully with a can and supers, but runs slow or doesn't run with subs, or then just run supers through it. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we just got to find simple solutions to our complex problems. Anyway, give me a quick second.
I see an American flag, I immediately look at that I'm like, that person's probably a bigot. That person's probably a homophobe. That person's probably a racist if they're just flying American flags out everywhere.
Oh, these people. So if you put $400 into the aluminum Lee Sporting lower, right? That's 400. If you put a couple hundred into super safety cam and lever, actually Pimbleton and Sons, I don't know anything about him, never ordered from him or anything, but he seems to be pretty active in the community. He actually made the 3D goal. Okay, think about that. The 3D Deagle. Yes, 3D printed Desert Eagle. What? It's like a 3011, but for a Desert Eagle, which is insane. I love it. So that dude right now is selling 5 plasma cut super safety levers and a couple nylon super safety cams, which I wouldn't count on using them for more than a few mags, for like $40. So I was going to go grab some of those just to have extra levers laying around. But this new that's going to be coming out soon, and the new material, it is going to deuce on most of the stuff on the market from what I understand. And I don't want to get too much into it because I don't know how much has been discussed, but I'll just say this: all the super steels like M390 and all the crazy like knife super steels that we're familiar with, I didn't know this, but it is literally made from powder filament and cooked to a bajillion degrees and extruded, and then it's hardened and shaped and all that. So we'll just say that these new super safeties are going to be kind of something like that, but very super steelish. So boom, we'll just put that there, and still be super affordable. So if you just look at the $400 for the Lee Sporting lower, which ships directly to your home because it's not a firearm, and a couple $100 on super safety, and $40-50 for the extractor and jig and whatever, I mean, you're looking at like $650-700 to get your MP5 super safe. So the way I was looking at it was like, okay, so having the AR MP5 lower, I'd have to remix it to be able to sell it. I wouldn't feel good about just straight up selling someone else's file. But to offer the MP5 lower for sale with the amount of, time and filament, time on the printer, filament, and post processing, really you're just paying for the post processing, right? And fitment and all that. For like $50 to get the lower, a grip, and 4 trips is a super great deal. The only thing that I'm kind of battling with is like, okay, so that'll help people in the community that want to make their, MP5 super safe for really cheap. But every single MP5 is different, right? It's not like Glocks where, even with Glocks, you can get some tolerance issues, but like you don't have like a standard, because these are literally flats that are bent into guns, and then the rollers are specific for every single gun. They have to be changed and tuned in the actual bolt, right? Like they're like unique per gun. Like if I took the bolt out of Drew's MP5 and put that in my MP5, it's probably not just going to work out of the gate. Every single one is different. So I threw a slip trip in my totally regular semi-auto MP5 SD, the little mini SD, actually that one right there. I couldn't get it over the hump part at first, and then there's another Lee Sporting trip, so I couldn't get that one over either. But then another one would go in, and so I had to literally sit there and hand fit it, file it, and all that for each one. So there is going to be some fitting and finishing required for every single person, regardless if you do it yourself, if you get it from DLD hardware, if you get it from some other whatever company person online. Just keep that in mind, because every single one is different. However, these people that are making like slip strips out of metal, they're making them slightly different with different tolerances and making them work in more MP5s, which I think is cool. So there's that. So I would love to do the MP5 SD right there, super safe, and I would love to do the MP5K super safe. That would be awesome. Oh, and Drew and I were talking about it before. So there was a piece that we thought had to be ground down in the SP5 and SP5K. And that's kind of turned some folks away from like, well, I don't feel like going through that for, to make an MP5 super safe, because, it's a pain. I don't want to grind down, an HK product that's $3,000. Not to mention, if you take a $3,000 product and then you put a $400 lower in there, and then whatever other money you threw into the lower, and then Cerakote it, and then some people have got more than $5,000 into their MP5 clones, even if it's not a clone, even if it's an HK, you know what I'm saying, into their HK style MP5 style guns. And anyway, so what we found out is, it seems to be that the only thing that someone would have to grind down is the AR hammer a little to make it work. But I'm going to have to mess with some of that stuff so I can give you guys, more and better information. But if we're looking at like, okay, so the AR, excellent option for a forced reset trigger. MP5, excellent option for forced reset trigger. What I really, really want to do is, if I could find a way to make a mac and cheese with an FRT, that tiny little guy with a Mac upper, oof. If I could find a way to make that super safe, that would be fire because it's such a tiny little guy. It's basically a Mac 11 upper with a 3D printed. There are some aluminum variants out there. If I could ever get my hands on an aluminum Mac Daddy, or sorry, mac and cheese, 80% that I would have to machine and do all that myself, that would be so dope. And I would love to get my hands on one of those. I'll just say that because I don't know what the legalities are nowadays on much. Because the gay TF keeps freaking changing every dang old thing. DB Alloy has super safety capability now. Ooh, bro. Fire. Awesome. So that's another great option. Dude, that 10-3 right there with the can, that Fostech Echo binary trigger is so freaking smooth, and I got down the cadence and timing on that thing. Every time I open up with it, it's just like, I mean, that thing runs. So that's dope. But I also, I'd rather have an assisted reset trigger or forced reset trigger. Have you guys seen from the Irish Rifle Academy, which is hilarious because it's IRA, the Irish Rifle Academy, this guy is working with I can't think of the company right now, but it's a company that developed a forced reset trigger for the Chris Super V, and it's like something like 1,500 rounds a minute. It is just like, and they're advertising it now. They're saying it's not ready yet, but it's going to be like 250. That would be so nasty. Like that, I would want a Chris Super V for the first time ever if I could run a force reset trigger in that thing. But also, like, I don't know enough about it. Like the super safeties and the FRTs, they're cleared. They're good to go, right? Like with my luck, I would go like buy a Chris Super V and buy a $250 force reset trigger, and a week later they'd be like, this is actually a machine gun. That's just my luck. Nice, thank you, brother, appreciate you, man. Yeah, so that would be nasty too. Okay, so AR, look, they're supposed to be coming out with AK stuff. They're saying that it's being developed right now. Rare Breed is developing AK force reset triggers. Some other companies have dropped some stuff. I don't know if they could be trusted or whatever. They also said that they're dropping an MP5 drop-in force reset trigger for the standard MP5 lower. But I'll say this. I personally do not want to give a singular dollar to Rare Breed because of what they've done, going after the open source community, going after people that are literally just trying to, small companies trying to make a buck, like absolute total dirtbags. Give me a second.
Oh, no.
Actually, you know what? Here, I'll let that run and I'll show you one more.
Oh, no. No. No.
I just realized that my name still says I'm Hank Strange. Such a goofball. Hold on. So let me change this. DLD After Dark. For the people that came in here, they were like, oh, I'm going to look into that Hank Strange guy, and then like looked it up, and yeah. But unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms
to push their own personal bias. To push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
That's terrifying. It's 1,250 rounds. I've shot one. Nice. Very cool. Why is it not letting me click on comments now? That's so weird. For a second, it wasn't letting me click on comments. Carl! Yeah, dude, I would love to get my hands on one of those, but if you're looking at it, right, like from a uh a combat effectiveness standpoint, having an AR with a some type of force reset trigger is definitely a better option. Also, if it ever goes down, it just turns into a semi-auto, platform. Also, even okay, so if you have an MP5 with some type of force reset trigger or assisted reset trigger, then you can drop any AR LPK in that fire control group area. So that's super appealing. But there's something about the MP5, right? I know people are going to be like, but it's only 9 millimeter, dude. The MP5 is supposed to be full auto magic, okay? Obviously, because simple plebes like us can't have anything fully auto that's post May of 1986 without registering it with JTF and spending 40, 50, 60, $100,000. um, we have to play around with what's lawful, and right now what is lawful are binary triggers and force reset triggers and assisted reset triggers, whatever you want to call it. So I mean, it's super appealing to me to have an MP5, especially an MP5 SD that's a mini SD that has a can only sticking out like 3 inches. Shout out to CMMG. If you guys know about that, zeroed CMMG suppressor, 36 cal suppressor. Okay. So you can run that thing on a 9 mil subgun. You can run it on a 5.56, on a 300 blackout, on an AK in 5.56 or 7.62 by 39 or 7.62 by 51, 308. You can run it on a 6.5 Creedmoor. You can run it on an 8.6 blackout. That thing is nasty. Oh, and it's a hub mount compatible suppressor. Oh, and it's only like just over $500. Like that is the suppressor. I'm sorry, I'm just keeping it real. That is the suppressor. Anyway, so there's just something that is special about a roller delayed 9 millimeter suppressed. The thing barely moves. It just kind of like gently vibrates while you're dumping a mag. It is so perfect. So even though for like combat effectiveness, I would say the AR is the way to go with an FRT. If you can, bro, I would say set up a lower, an AR lower with an FRT that you can swap and put on different guns as long as you tune them and they work together and all that. Cool, awesome. But having that MP5 with a 9 millimeter, what? Dude, there's just something so super special about that and super safe as well. So I'm kind of stuck between, I can't say which one is the best. Having that Vector, dude, that Super V recoil system, that is special right there. Having one in semi-auto, in just regular semi-auto is just useless, right? Like you don't get to enjoy the true benefits of what that platform gives you, right? The benefit comes from very fast firing. That's how that system shines. So that's, whack in just regular semi-auto. In assisted semi-auto or in an extremely safe scenario, yes, Chris Vector, Super V, whatever you want to call it, is 100% on the menu again. And they're like $1,300 to $1,500 depending on what you get. Which, by the way, that MP5 SD was like $1,350. So that totally puts you back in that, puts it back on the menu. But if we're going pure like cost and battlefield capabilities, AR is where it's at. AR is just the best thing to throw a force reset or assisted reset system on. A gas operated handgun, drip. Simi 1 is special in a different way. Yeah. Best gun to make full auto. I mean, full auto is a different. Honestly, if I could have any any gun I wanted full auto. So I'm looking at like options, right? Like you guys remember when I was talking about that AC 556 that I found. So the Ruger AC 556, it has a selector that goes safe, semi, burst, auto. Like that's a dope setup, right? Like if this Chris Vector. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but it took me out for a second. Am I still here? Can y'all give me a 5x5? That was super weird. Good night, Senor Bub. Love you, bud. Yeah, so I'm getting to it, Techno Man. Good to see you, bud. Okay, cool. Thank you. 5. I found a Tommy built UMP, but they're hit and miss. Tommy built UMPs are dope. It's just, you know, and I consider a UMP, dude, the Strybog 10 millimeter, dude, some super hot 10 millimeter out of a barrel that long, you're literally pushing 300 blackout energy. So think of it like this. If you get a Strybog, which I can't, testify to how good or great or awesome the Strybog subguns are, right? Some people say they're excellent. Some people say they suck. Apparently, the new ones are better. But if you build an AR with an 8.5 inch barrel and 300 blackout, the size, like the footprint that gun takes up it's a sizable piece of equipment, right? With a brace and buffer and upper and lower handguard and barrel and all that. And of course, if you throw a can on it, then you're basically looking at something that's like the full rifle size. But a Strybog that doesn't have a buffer system with a folding brace or something like that still gives you near 300 blackout energy out of a pistol caliber, subgun size system that you can fit in a backpack. That's super tempting for me. So like a UMP, I was thinking about it and I was like, a UMP would be a dope subgun to be able to throw in a bag and, take with you when you go out and about. But then it was like, well, a UMP is big. So my buddy has a semi-auto SBR'd HK UMP. It was built by one of the places out here that does that kind of stuff. They do an excellent job. And it was done on an HK parts kit, which was stupid expensive. Anyway, it's 45 ACP, right? So it's like 45 ACP is good, but if I'm going to go that big, I may as well go 10 millimeter. Because then I was like, well, what if I did like an LWRC SMG 45? It would be, honestly, in my opinion, it would probably be better to do a 10 millimeter. But then if you do 45 ACP or 10 millimeter, then you're completely out of your caliber world of 5.56, 9 mil, blah, blah, blah. So I would like to stay in the 5.56, 9 millimeter world. I would love to stay in the 9 millimeter Glock world and 5.56 AR magazine world, but I want as many, options as possible. So if there was a trigger out there, like the Chris Super V takes 9 millimeter Glock mags, if you chose the 9 mil version, to have that, if that trigger could have safe, binary, and forced reset, I guess. So safe, semi, binary, forced reset. If it could have the true 4 positions that the real Chris has, that would be gangster. If there could be an AR out there that you could grind down the little nubs on the safety selector and make it a 360 safety selector, and it was safe, semi, burst, auto, which there are some out there. That's originally where those little 2 bumps on the AR came from. Did you know that? Did you know that was to signal, whatever. That was to showcase that a firearm was cucked and that it was only semi because it can't roll around 360 and all that. I'm like, what? That's what I was told. Okay, so if I'm wrong there, don't kill me. But it was also to keep people from if you have safe, semi, and auto, I don't know if you can like push it back around 360. Either way, if you could have an AR that was safe, semi, burst, and auto, that would be fire. My brain always had a problem with understanding how mechanically a mechanical thing, like how does it know that was 3 rounds? And apparently it's like a ratcheting system where it do and then goes back, do and then goes back, and it knows the 3 rounds have been fired. 3-round burst, I think deuces on everything, because 3-round burst is right, and if you just I fired a bunch of 3-round burst stuff. There's actually, did you know that there's an MP5 with a 5-round burst? I'm like, that makes my brain hurt even harder. How does it know that it's 5 rounds? Again, it's a ratcheting system. I don't understand it. I'm just saying. Dude, burst is where it's at. Burst is where it is at. The LGBTQRS silent letter 2 trigger. That's right. Ratchet. Most of the select fire ARs with the 4-position setups have the goofy plate placed underneath the selector to designate the addition 3rd burst position. Interesting. 2-round. I have seen 2-round burst. Yeah. DB, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Yeah, see, that's the thing about burst is like, bro, you pull the trigger twice, you put 6 rounds center mass in under 1 second. What? Yeah, the Navy. So that's the Navy lower up there. And I don't know if you guys probably can zoom on it. You could probably go full screen, cast me onto your TV. It makes YouTube like me more. But the lower says safe, single, 3-round burst, full auto. But my safety only says click once. It's boring. But if I could actually have, if there was a drop-in MP5 FRT trigger that I could just put right in that, like my Franklin binary trigger for the MP5, that dropped right into my MP5K clone, right? And I can run that thing pretty fast. There's, and I got a video of it too. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see how fast I can get. If it takes me a minute to get it, then I'll just save it for another time. But let me see. Videos. Okay, give me un segunda, por favor. And while I do this, I'm going to take a little vape. Oh, dude, we got so much. Oh, hold on. Let's see if you guys know what this is. Rich says that I snore loud. He said that I snore loud. Dude, the walls were rattling. You can hear me like laughing in the background. Hold on. Watch this at the end. He gets up like, what? Bro, it was so bad. Okay, Rich, this is for you, bud. Yeah, DLD snores. That's for you, Richie. Hold on. Yo. Dude, it's got so much bass to it. Woo! One more. Dude. Oh no, don't tell me he just put it on. Oh, I was about to say don't put this on Instagram. Okay, hold on. Let me see where it is. Hold on. Oh, what? Okay, hold on. I'm going to find it. If you see an American flag. Oh, no. That's no. All right, hold up. And we have it. Oh no, that's a different one. Hang on. I got it in here. Hold up. Dude, I'm sorry, Rich. I had to. I know he's going to wake up to people talking about how loud he snores tomorrow. Dude, but the funniest thing is Rich was like, "Oh, Dark snores so loud." I was like, "Bro, really? Like you were in there like bass turned all the way up like max breathing, max loudness. I've never heard anyone snore louder than that in my entire flippin' life, bro." Okay, let's see. Is this it? No, that's me shooting the spear. Okay, this one is just solid gold. Okay, hold on. I gotta share this one, then I'm gonna share the other one. So hang tight. I'm gonna show you the there's one of me running an actual FA MP5, and then me running the MP5K with the Franklin binary in that thing. You can tell like I don't have the cadence down like that well in it, but it's running. Here, we'll run this one first. Hold on. Do. All right, give me 1 sec. Oh, it probably won't run the audio through it. Dang it. Hold on. Dude. I promise it was safe, mostly. That thing is... It is on fire. All right, so there's that. And there's this one. Oh, of course, it's freaking sideways. Hold on. Rotate right. Why would that flip horizontal? No. That's not horizontal. Flip vertical? Oh my goodness. Are you for real right now? This literally doesn't make sense. Rotate right. Oh my goodness. All right, hold on. Okay, I got it. Now it's upside down. Are you for real? Flip vertical. Okay, it's literally backwards, but y'all are just gonna have to deal with it. All right. Oh man, I'm sorry, y'all. We lost a few people while I'm doing this. So I would like to dedicate this video to my mama. Actually, yo mama. $20 rounds. Woo! Look at that. Gun. Reholster. Smooth. So I mean, you still get some Beard Man. Yeah, that's also when I was like 300 pounds too. Yeah, but actually, we need to get into the FRT Glock stuff. As a matter of fact, Lynchpin, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Yeah, right. That Gideon shirt is fire. But you can see like it's it's not like but you can get that cadence going. If I really spent time behind that gun, I could get it running like that 10-3. I got over 12,000 rounds through that gun, and I actually haven't fired it in a while, so that's why that round count is not climbing. But I can just, I don't know, being behind that gun for that amount of time, like you get the feel, you get the cadence, and you can just waka waka waka. But like I don't have as much time behind the MP5 with the binary trigger that I do with that. So once you get that cadence right, and you can really learn to freak it and figure out which ammo it likes and break it in and all that, dude, you can do some serious work with the binary trigger and still keep it crazy accurate, bro. All of those shots, as ridiculous and crazy as that may have seemed, all of those shots were in that little alien man. If you guys didn't see that video series where we were shooting and stabbing the fake alien man, which it was one of those those workout bobs that you punch with a MD Arsenal shirt and an alien mask on. I shot him in the eyeball. Is that dark or tacked out Humpty Dumpty? I couldn't tell. Almost magically fast. He's a lefty. Yeah, right when it's flipped like that. Okay, so let's back this up real quick. So the FRTs have been like, blowing up. Everyone, loves them. It's the most fun you can have with your pants on, right? Man, I'm sorry. I need nicotine and I'm alone. So hold, please.
Oh, I get it. You're retarded. You don't understand a word I say.
Sorry, I'm limited to what I can do when I'm solo, y'all. All right. So, okay. So the FRTs have been a huge deal for ARs and anything that takes an AR FCU, like the MP5s, like whatever. We've talked about a bunch of systems that you can use the super safeties, FRTs, and WOTs on, right? Well, the Glock FRT it's become it's a newer thing, but it's becoming way more popular. Okay. So what people have done, which is extremely innovative and creative in my opinion, is there's this little piece. It's like a little rocking piece that you install as you install the 4mm trigger pin, and that piece uses the tilt of the barrel because it's a Browning style system. It uses the tilt of the barrel to rock. So you install a new trigger and you install a new little tilting mechanism inside there that works with the trigger, right? And when you're running the gun, of course you have to file. Usually you have to file it. You have to do some fitting and filing to kind of make sure that it all works together. But as the barrel tips up, it rocks that piece back, which rocks the trigger forward. And as you're, applying pressure, it, moves the trigger back, forward, and then you continue to move the trigger back, right? Now, thanks, AI. Now, what's really cool about that is it gives you a really dope range gun where you can just pop with a Glock. And it gives people very switchy vibes with an FRT. Now, what I started seeing though is that dudes would go, to the range and then maybe they have one Glock, right? And then they're putting the Glock FRT trigger in there and, running a 33 round stick mag through it, like, and then they put their magazine of hollows in there, rack around and charge the pistol, and then put it in their holster in their waistband. Now, here's the issue with the Glock. The entire safety mechanism, all the different parts of the safety mechanism has to work together to keep you safe, to keep you from blowing off your sack, unlike a SIG 320. So with the Glock, one of the components of the trigger safety system is the trigger safety dongle on the trigger itself. Okay, so if you take, let's get the box of pots. Okay, if you take a Glock trigger, then you have that safety dongle right there, right? Now, when you depress that safety, it moves that piece out of the way, which is literally just a piece of polymer that blocks the trigger from being pulled rearwards. Well, when you remove that, so let's get it right there, you remove that, then that allows the trigger to go backward every time. And even if it allows it to go back a little bit, that shark fin starts to move up. And as the shark fin moves up, it starts to move this piece out of the way, which starts to move it up, which allows this piece. I'm sorry, I'm a terrible teacher. This piece to move forward, and if the shark fin is pushing up even the slightest bit, then that firing pin can get through. It can get through. And if you guys, for you guys that are here that are maybe newer, that don't know, we just lost one of our friends to a catastrophic mechanical failure where a Glock had gone off when it dropped. And it struck him in his head. R.I.P. Jonah, R.I.P. Big Mac. We love you and miss you. But the fact that dudes are making these types of changes to their systems and to their triggers, and they're doing that like on their carry gun. First off, if you pull out your gun to defend yourself and you dump 16 rounds in 0.4 seconds, it's probably not the most effective thing to do, period. Secondly, you're responsible and you are to be held accountable for every single round that exits your muzzle. So not the most wise thing to do. I get it. I get the cool factor of having, something that goes burr, right? But the fact that there are dudes that are, posting these videos and, dumping, 33 rounds and then charging the pistol and then shoving it in their waistband and carrying it is so stupid, because not only is it not safe for anyone that if God forbid you find yourself in conflict and have to defend yourself, is it not safe for anyone else around, but it's not safe for you as your gun is pointing at your femoral artery, your nuts, your pecker, your legs, whatever. And with the drop safety issue, I'm just thinking out loud here. If you have an FRT in there with no safety, if you drop it, the risk isn't just one round going off. The risk is a short burst popping off. Could you imagine that, bro? Like, dude, that's crazy. That is crazy. Man, so if you're going to take one of your Glocks and, make it like a range toy with an FRT, okay, that's cool. At least like AR-15s and MP5s and these other guns that we're, talking about doing FRTs, super safeties and stuff like that in them, they still have the same safety implements, right? We're not changing the safety of the system. The safety, everything is still the same, what's that, Dark? I thought it was a 1911, not a Glock. No, it was 100%. We found out. So we thought that it was possibly a 2011 or maybe, one of his other handguns, but we found out that it was 100% in the police report, a Glock 43X with 3 components that were changed, and they were likely changed poorly, incorrectly. I mean, for that to happen, he would have had to have replaced the trigger shoe and sometimes when you replace these trigger shoes, the trigger dongle safety is like screwed in on that thing, right? Well, if you carry it a lot, shoot it and carry it, shoot it and carry it over time, those screws can back out. Trigger safety can fall out. That's happened on a number of other people's guns that I've talked to. It's not something that is unheard of. Johnny Glocks has talked a lot about, especially the 43X, 43, and 48. That's definitely been a thing. So if there's no trigger safety dongle on the trigger, that's a huge issue. But then if you look at the possibility of because people change springs, striker springs, connectors, trigger springs, a whole bunch of stuff. If maybe he put in the firing pin safety in there, and the safety wasn't correctly installed, and the plunger spring wasn't correctly installed, or if it was carbon locked in there in the firing position, or we don't know everything, but we know that it was 100% a Glock 43X. And if there's ever any point where anyone feels like, man, this doesn't add up, like something terrible had to have happened, everything that happened that day was on video. The tragic accident that occurred to Jonah was literally on his home video. He was an SOT. He dealt in firearms and high-end firearm equipment, and he, because of that, had cameras all over his house. And the first thing that the T for Tejas, what's up, brother? Andy Lipsco, what up, man? Good to see you, man. Both you guys. Yeah, just go factory, dude. For carry guns, for EDC stuff, factory all the way, 100%. Like, there's no purpose on going, too crazy, right? Like, if you want to change a couple things, okay, don't change anything that could have an impact on the safety of your firearm. That's all I'm saying. And if you do, mallet test the piss out of it. Like, you have to know 100% that that gun is safe enough to, potentially, not just save the life of your family by, like, if God forbid you ever had to use it. I'm talking about, like, just carrying your gun and bumping around and stuff like that. Like, you're going to be around your family, your kids, your spouse, your neighbors, your community, people at church. Like, it is your responsibility to make sure your gun is 100% safe. Every time I build a Glock, I mallet test the dog snot out of that thing to make sure that it's safe. And I had gone back through my guns, and I had found out that there was a couple Glocks that I had that were not drop safe. Like, that's a pretty terrifying thing to realize. Now, only a handful of my guns are, like, in the carry rotation, so those were not guns that I would consider carrying anyway. But still, mallet test your stuff. Get a 16-ounce nylon hammer and beat the piss out of it. See if it goes off. Not with a live cartridge in there. We'll have to have another episode on this, because I'm speaking too carelessly here. But I'm just saying that beat the absolute ever loving piss out of it. You're not going to break it, and if you do break it, thank goodness, because you shouldn't have been carrying that gun anyway. So the FRT thing, that's why for the Glock FRT thing, that's why it's kind of a big deal to me, and that's why it stuck out more to me, because it made me think of Jonah, and it was like, dude, we just lost somebody to something like this, so eliminating one of the safety mechanisms, at that point, you turn that gun into a party trick, right? Like, the gun is no longer something to tuck in your waistband and go about your day, right? It's a gun that, take it to the range, go, do your party trick thing, have fun with it, but I would not consider that gun a carry gun anymore. That's all I'm saying. Is it cool to have a Glock that, goes brr? Of course it's cool, right? Especially in, like, some type of, chassis style system like this right there. You can't even tell that's crazy. You can't even tell that's in a chassis system. Anyway, but yeah, y'all are going to do what y'all are going to do either way. I'm just trying to give advice that would potentially keep people from getting hurt and or maimed or killed or whatever. That's it. Anyway, make sure you visit a particular website, and make sure that you take a look at something.com, so you can take a look at like the little dongle I did there. Don't forget the safety dongle. So you can take a look at what Marconi's got. He is whipping up some waffles that are super crazy. And make sure you check out his website, because that's something I may have to get involved in, because that thing is gorgeous. And he's been telling me for like over a year now. We talked even before his my watch says it's time to stand. Like, oh, I've been standing for 2 hours. We talked even before his V2 was out in the public yet. And I was like, yo, you know what you should do? You should do a Glock slide that's ported in the slide. He's like, yeah, I'm literally working on that right now. I was like, what? But he's been telling me forever. He's like, you need to get one. You need to get one. You need a V2 Marconi slide. And I do 100%. I would literally run that on one of my OEM frames. I would slap that on a Gen 3 OEM frame with the Marconi magwell on it. Oh, dude. I have 2 of his other slides. They are incredible. I love his slides. They are like the Lamborghini of Glock slides. They're the lines, the way they look, they're just absolutely stunning. Now, the V2, though, is basically like having a Radian Ramjet, which is a $400 barrel comp setup, built into the slide and barrel. It's incredible. So one day I will have one, and that will be one of the guns that I run like on my pistol belt, bro. Eventually we'll get there. Who knows? Maybe if I got the cash to drop it on the waffle, maybe I'll get that one. We'll see. Oh yeah, I got ND stories. Maybe we'll do an ND story. I've shared all of my, actually not all of them. I've shared a couple of the stories on stream before. But make sure you check out Marconi's website, man. Go to Home, Shop, and Waffles, and you will not be disappointed. Even if you just go look at the pictures, you got to go check them out. They're absolutely stunning. Dude, for real, beautiful work. You're doing crazy stuff. If any other company came out with what Marconi has, the entire Glock world would be drooling over it. But because he's a smaller company that's, doing smaller volume, just like enough people hadn't seen it yet, right? But, eventually you're going to get out there, you're going to blow up, and you and Shogun will be like the upper echelon of custom Glock stuff. Mark my words, 100%. Just wait. Let's see. Drew, look at his Angry Sarge upper. Yeah, that's nasty. I have one. It's gorgeous. Yeah, dude, Kurt's got all the cool stuff, man. I have a Gen 3 OD green that needs an upper for. Hold up. A factory OD green Gen 3 lower? Like a Glock factory OD green Gen 3 frame? Is that what you're talking about? Because if you do, I'm super jealous. I have always wanted that dirty, flat, dark earth looking. Oh, a Polymer 80. Okay. Man, if you guys remember those like dirty, ugly, olive color looking Gen 3 OD green, they call them OD green, but they're like a literal like olive color. They're almost like flat dark earth green. They're crazy looking. Those Gen 3 lowers, oof, man. I actually, if you guys, the 100,000 round Glock with the blue lower, that is actually a factory OD green Gen 3 frame that someone totally coated and baked on paint, so I could never, recover the original OD green beauty that it is. But every now and then when I pop that slide off and take a look at it, I'm just like, I just get pissed. Like, how could you do that? If you're out there, Derek, how could you do that? Anyway, so I want to show you guys this too. This is super cool. I know I kind of, teased it in the beginning, but these, every single configuration you could think of, 5-shot, 8-shot, dude, these plus P TMJs are nasty, dog. These are getting like ballistics that are right on the ankles of 357, dude. These things are nasty. So these are all 3D printed. Look at that little C clamp there. And they are, I mean, I need to do some testing on them, but they are super solid. They fit the pattern beautifully. You literally drop it in and then you click and then they all drop out. So it's very similar to the old school HKS. I thought I brought one up here. I guess I don't have one here, but it's super simple and super similar to the HKS style. So you just do the little one click, drop them in, boom, boom, boom. Oopsies. Boom. Boom. All right, so you got all 5 in there, jiggly, jiggly, and then you lock it, boom. And if you really want to, you can also make them. Obviously, I did these in black. The dude that catted the file did them in the original black and gray look. I mean, these are almost as dope looking as the Safariland ones, which are the push and twist, where it literally, or no, actually, those ones you just push, and once it hits the end of the rim cartridge, it like shoots them out, and you could just drop the thing. That would be dope if you could make something like that. But they're actually really gorgeous for like little 5. If you carried a J frame like ever, okay, then you got a bunch of speed loaders like this. But I wanted to make them a little bit more family friendly, so I did some of these blue and purple, some purple with that's too funny, dude. These, okay, I take that back. These Corbon, like what were they, like 110 grain or something like that, 110 grain or 90 grain, I don't remember, but they're super light and they're plus P plus. These things are fire breathers, bro. These things are like boom, but they're pretty hardcore. Blue and purple. This is the blue with the purple. Obviously, I mean, how could you not love these? I may do some definition knives ones and do like the black, white, and red or something like that. But either way, they're super cool, and that's, man, it's easy to collect this stuff. I already got 6 of them. It's like a 30-minute print, and you could just bam knock out a bunch of them. It's really cool. $450 for an upper, no recoil spring. Yeah, so that's if you look at the amount of machining that goes into it, it is cheaper than a Radian, basically, because a Radian you get a barrel and a comp for like $400. I paid like $409 for my Radian. For this, you're getting a slide and a barrel with a built-in comp into the system. Like even like the uncompensated, unported strike slides are like $300 just for the strip slide. So it's still a good deal for what you're getting. You're getting the slide, which has the chunk port, and the which is the big old honking port at the front, and then the small ports in the back, and then the barrel, which not only has to be machined for the chunk port, you also have to machine the small ports. But after you do the chunk port, you actually have to go in and machine the inside of the barrel to machine the rifling out of where the chunk port starts, because you have to remove the rifling, otherwise it will literally shear the jacket off of the round and shoot it up out of the hole at shooters, and whoever may be shooting the gun. So it's not cheap, but if you compare to like other companies that are doing the same type of thing, dude, that what, I forgot what the name of the company is, but the other one, it's like $700 or $800 for a slide in a barrel. It's crazy, but so it's still a good deal for what you're getting. But yeah, the Corban makes really good stuff, dude. The Corban 357 SIG stuff is nasty stuff. Carried the Bulldog for a minute, but no J-frame. The Bulldog is pretty dope. That's the Son of Sam gun right there. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, guys. I just want to thank you and express gratitude for all of you guys coming in, hanging out, spending time, your generosity. I appreciate you guys so much. Man, lots of big things coming. Lots of great things coming for the channel. Lots of great things coming for DLD hardware, for definition knives. So you got to be on the lookout for things that are going to be dropping soon. Pretty soon, I'll be doing some of the investigative, deep dive into the world of the assisted reset, forced reset world. And although, I have some information, I haven't spent enough time in that world, kind of learning everything that I want to learn to be able to give back information to you guys. So I'm gonna jump into it and see all that I can learn. And honestly, I can't wait to get some of the nicer, harder super safeties, and they're going to be available to you guys in a couple months too. So right, so like August, September, October, yeah, a couple months, we'll call it that. So anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it up, guys. I appreciate you all so much, man. Again, the time, the energy, the chats, your generosity, I appreciate you all so much. If you've not already, if you've gotten any even little bit of value from the stream tonight, even if you just got a little giggle, go ahead and please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up. Because why is my thumb so crooked, bro? Man, look at that thing. Is that normal? My thumb is up even if I'm doing the gladiator thing sideways. Dang, maybe I've... Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all you guys. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by obviously just clicking the thumbs up, doing the liking, the sharing, the subscribing, and all that stuff. But also, donate a firearm to little Scottish girls. You mentioned you might sell MP5 lower at some point. Still in the menu. Yes. We're talking about the 3D printed MP5 lowers, which are completely unregulated to the Fed boys. So yeah, what I'm probably going to do is do an MP5 lower, a grip, and like 4 slip trips for like $50 or something like that. It's just a pain, honestly. The only reason I would even charge anything at all is because of the amount of post processing and filing, sanding, fitting, and all that. It's a huge pain. Otherwise, I would honestly just not care as much about them. But the time on the printer, the filament, and then also the post processing is a biatch. But for you guys, for people out there that may not 3D print, yeah, $50 for a lower, a grip, and 4 slip trips is an awesome deal that could help someone be able to, make their MP5 super safe without, having to spend $700 or more. So there you go. So anyway, as we wind up here, I just want to remind you guys to support the channel aside from the liking, the sharing, the subscribing, hitting the thumbs up, and all that. You can shop at DLD Hardware if you build guns. But remember, that's where all the merch is too. Oh, and I got some dope merch dropping. The belt fed, the only good fed, and it's got a picture of an M240 Bravo in the back. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming out, so just be on the lookout for that. What was the other one? Why am I drawing a blank on the other one? Whatever. Just keep an eye out on the merch. So that's going to be dropping, and we got some other definition knives merch coming out. The patches will be available soon too, which we have them. I have them here, but patches are going to be available. We'll probably sell those through definitionknives.com, but all of those are going to be up soon. And then also some other stuff. So just keep an eye out on the websites, dldhardware.com, definitionknives.com, and you'll see the new stuff that we're adding. And look, guys, as we wrap everything up, I want to encourage you guys to remember it is important. We have to take on the role of Minutemen, right? Like, this world it's just becoming softer and softer and softer. But the control element, the governmental control element, is only becoming harder and harder and harder. So we have to make sure that we maintain who we are, and it is our sole responsibility to protect the republic. So, take on that responsibility. Make sure that you're armed, make sure that you're prepared, make sure that you focus on water, food, shelter, security. And look, regardless of who's in the White House, regardless of what administration we're under, we need to make sure that we still realize that we are in a culture war, and you need to take on the role of being a culture warrior. Big Fish, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Best FRT is a SP5 in the backyard. Ask me how I know. Bro, my man. Unless your super safety lever breaks. Anyway, it's important that you take on the role of being a culture warrior. And the best way that we do that is being the best version of ourselves, having rules and, standards and expectations that we hold ourselves to, and the men that we allow around us and our families. And some of the rules that I like to share, well, hold on. Also, make sure that you're, being a leader within your family, a spiritual leader within your family, a leader within your community and your church. That's super important. And some of the rules that I like to go over with you guys before we end every show are: rule number 1 is to be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on their life. So be kind, please. Rule number 2 is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution. Give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed, because the hand that's open to give is open to receive. And rule number 3, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence, make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be. And be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, that's beautiful. Look at that. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. I love y'all. We'll catch y'all in the next one.
Uh-oh, retard alert!
Hang on. Oh, dude, really? Come on. These freaking videos, I swear. I'm just gonna have to run it backwards. Yes, sir. That's the FRTZ. Look at that beauty. Dude, we all need the FRT. Love y'all. Peace.